We are live. I mean me. So Joe P is not here right now, obviously. It is just Colin C, and I do have some great things that I want to go over with all of you guys today. We've got some BlackRock news. We've got some Voyager news. We've got to talk about some Ethereum. I should probably check and make sure that any of this is making sense, because if I don't, it probably won't work. Am I right? So make sure you guys smash the like button for us. It really does help the channel. And also subscribe if you guys haven't subscribed. But yeah, we're going to have a conversation today. Perfect. We're going to have a conversation today, make sure everything is going well. And if you guys want to jump in the chat, that is great. We appreciate it. We know it is Saturday. It is beautiful here in Iowa, like 75 degrees. It's been 75 degrees for a week. It's going to be 75 degrees for another week. Typically, it's 95 here, hot as hell, and you don't even want to go outside. But that is not the case right now. So smash the like button, do all the good things. We got some great Voyager news, like I said, some BlackRock stuff I want to look at, the overall market as a whole, where I think it's going. It's looking like it's more and more probable that maybe 17K was the bottom, which would really, really suck, because just for me personally, my USD was always was stuck on Voyager, and I wasn't able to get it in to the positions I wanted to at the time I wanted to get them in. I actually had three buy orders out there. Two of them would have hit had it been okay. But hey, we're past it. We're moving on. We're getting our money back either way. That's all smiles. Can't be any happy for that. The crypto thing, that's going to take a little bit of time. We're going to talk about that towards the end of this live. So tune in at the end if you guys want something there. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get down into the market again. If you guys have comments, questions, concerns, anything like that, just throw them in. Throw them in. We'll talk about it. Don't want to take up too much of your time today, but we will go ahead and get rolling. All right, guys, here's what we've got we've got coin market cap. We're just at almost 1.2 trillion. We are rolling. Now, we have got to make decisions here, is that it is looking more and more like potentially the bottom has been in. Now, there is something to be said that we're looking at how quickly inflation has spiked. Just think about this. June, July, whatever of last year, when inflation was rapidly growing at 5 to 7%, everybody's freaking out. And now we're like leveling off at just under 9% and people are happy. I get it. That means it went down, but that means we're still leveled off. So are we at the bottom? Are we not? Who cares? Really, I mean, Bitcoin is so low, it really shouldn't matter all that much. All these projects are extremely low. You're still getting great prices, even if you didn't hit the bottom, because you should already know you weren't going to hit the bottom, and you're definitely probably not going to hit the top. I could still very easily see this going back under 20K, and then all hell breaks loose, right? So everything gets cut over against the wayside if something happens to this ETH merge, if something else comes into play. But still, the institutional investing is really what's holding this up right now. The retail is still not back in, and it's still not coming back in. And until that happens, I just don't know what kind of pressure we'd have to make this really work. So, all right, guys, we're going to keep moving on here. Bitcoin 24.5 looking pretty good there. We're going to see when that gets up to about 28K, 29K. There's a pretty big gap in the middle there before that happens. I will show that that bull trap here coming up. Cardano finally moving. That was one of my buys that I would have loved to have been able to hit, but it didn't hit it. Whatever. I had it at 42 cents. It hit 40, and yeah, it just happened that Voyager decided to go insolvent in the meantime. That's great. XRP still going to run, guys. I love XRP. We've got ourselves a pretty fat bag of XRP. Solana, I don't really like, but it is absolutely rolling. It's just too centralized for me to really get into it, to really enjoy it. I think it does have some good developmental things about it. I think there are some use cases there are some scenarios that I would like to use it, but for right now, for me, I'm kind of staying away from Solana. You guys do you on that one, but it's not for me. Polkadot, I actually was the second project I ever bought was Polkadot. I still have just a little bit, just like a couple $100 of it, but I like Polkadot. I think it's got some use case potential coming up. Polygon has been rolling. I mean, how high can this thing go? I think what all-time highs maybe around 3. I don't know, but Polygon's got massive potential, even though it's a layer 2, and obviously with Ethereum pumping, we know what's all going to happen there. Monero, I've been hearing some good things about Monero, about the privacy coins and all these things going on. They've got some big things coming out. VeChain, we're going to cover a little bit of VeChain today. This has been my baby since the beginning. I absolutely love VeChain. Honestly, with where it sits at right now at the 3 cent, that may be my next play. I may throw a whole bunch of money into VeChain. I haven't decided yet. Here's the thing, is that some of you guys know I bought VeChain as my third or fourth crypto I ever bought, and it was at 7 cents, and it was the first time I had ever hit the actual bottom of something. Like, it was literally bottomed out like 18, 19, 20 months ago, whenever it was when I first got in, and I rolled that boy all the way up to 27 cents, not taking any profit. I think it's going to 40 cents. I'm looking at all this TA crap, and then it just dive bombed from there. Am I right? So, you know, I still think VeChain's use case through this bull market has been phenomenal. I think they're reducing that carbon footprint. I think they're making extremely big time partnerships behind the scenes. I really do think VeChain is something that we may even look more. I may look at making my #1 holding going forward. I still love ADA. It's still the project I think of the future. I think that Charles Hoskinson is someone that can kind of put something on its back and really just chug up the mountain, even though it's slowly. He just never stops. I think VeChain can also be one of those projects. I really do like VeChain. All right, guys. Enough with that. ApeCoin shit. You guys know that. Whatever. Sandbox. I'm just not a big Sandbox guy. I can't get there. Under $1, I can get there. Over $1 right now, I can't get there. I mean, it ran up to like $8 on one thing. Whatever. Quant. I'm still liking Quant. We do still hold some Quant as well, but haven't really done a whole lot of research into it in a little bit. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I want to look at. Harmony's coming out with some new things. I'm hoping Joe, he's golfing right now. I'm hoping Joe comes out with a video hopefully tomorrow. I'm not going to hold him to it, but hopefully tomorrow, because there's some big news coming out with Harmony, so you guys are going to want to stay tuned to that. I'm not the Harmony guy, so I don't want to misspeak on any of that. Although I still love Harmony. I do still think it's going to be 100x potential. Even after that big old drop, I think it is way oversold. It is way under what it ever should have been, but neither here nor there. And as always, guys, if you are with us on this Saturday, I really do appreciate it. Go ahead and drop a like, drop a comment below if you guys want to say anything. We do appreciate it here at the Crypto Boys, and we're just going to keep rolling on, all right? I'm going to skip Trading View for right now. So, Monero, this is one thing that I think it's going to be huge going forward, especially as bigger institutions, especially as more privacy in the crypto space wants to be had. You're going to see these privacy coins really take off. I really believe that the further we get and the more upgrades they have and the more we understand the functionality and the technology of privacy coins, I think they're just on the outside of people like dabbling in them and realizing there's some serious potential there. And I think when we start getting more of that institutional investing, they're going to be brought into more of the forefront of what is truly going on. So anyways, I love it. I think it could be big. All right, next up, we're going to go to Ethereum hitting 8-month highs and Bitcoin as money heads for riskier altcoins. You can see all the altcoins going up now as we just kind of went over. But here's the thing, guys. Ethereum is going to roll. I mean, it is going to roll. And we've said it here for months. Every YouTuber has said it for a long time that if it happens and if the Ethereum merge goes off without too much of a hitch, this market could very well be a catalyst to get us out of this bear market and into greener pastures. It could be that simple. It's that big of a deal with this Ethereum merge. However, it's just hard to play that game because you don't really know exactly what's going to happen. They've delayed it for so long and had so many mistakes. You just never exactly know. And with everything being so low as it's been over the last 6 to 8 months, it's easy for you to be able to just keep nibbling off and buying more and buying more. You guys still got to remember, we're still super low. We are still super low. I mean, everybody's acting right now in the crypto space that we're going to all-time highs. Some of it's because we haven't seen any movement. We haven't seen anything for 8 months. We haven't seen anything for, 9 months. So, of course, you're going to look at it and be like, oh, my gosh, so many good things are happening in the space, but... And there are some good things happening with BlackRock, obviously potentially partnering up with the whole Coinbase thing. And then you've got BlackRock putting into their private equity funds and putting some of their trillions of dollars and making it available to them. And what's eventually going to happen with BlackRock, and just my own personal opinion, is that they're going to start setting the precedent out there for the SEC or whomever to finally get the spot ETF. And I'm telling you this right now, as soon as you see a spot ETF and as soon as you see it approved, you're going to see regulation sped up tenfold. You're going to see regulation fast. You're going to see so many things happen in the crypto space just like that. You're going to want to make sure your money's on the right side of that change because this crypto market's going to take off. It is still only $1 trillion. Let's just round it off, $1 trillion asset class. That is super small compared to everything else. When this gets to gold, when this gets to other things like that, I mean, it's going to be absolutely insane. Do I think we're going to all-time highs right now? I feel like there's still a drop left. I really do. I feel like there's something that's going to take us down under 20K. I feel like there's going to be another buying opportunity, and you just got to be ready for it. And who knows if that's true? If that's not true, don't be afraid to hold your cash and just be smart with it. That's what I'm doing over here with the Crypto Boys. You guys do whatever you want. All right. Next up, I just kind of wanted to see this. I haven't showed this in forever, but Coin360, it is looking gorgeous. Everything is green. Everything is green. So many things up. ETH up 5-6%. Bitcoin up a couple percentage. ADA's up almost 6-7%. I mean, this is just looking good. Again, we haven't seen many of these days where you can pull up this chart and it just makes you smile over the last 8 or 9 months, and here it is now. So I think it was worth at least bringing up. And I know my next one here, I know I've already talked about BlackRock just very quickly, but again, BlackRock offers this potential to get out of this bear market and really change this space forever. It's going to change the space for good once we decide and once they decide on what they're going to do, how they're going to buy, but it also could change it like if they decide not to yet, or if something else can come along that doesn't work out perfectly. We're still on that teeter-totter of like, we're lower than we should have been. I mean, think about it. Think about when this bear market officially started back in November. If I would have told you, hey, Bitcoin's going to be at 24,000. Right now, we feel like it's the highest 24,000 ever. Just 4 months ago, when it hit 24,000, we thought all hell was breaking loose. It was the worst thing in the world. So perspective is a whole lot right now. All right, guys, we're going to keep moving through here. VeChain. I already talked about VeChain. It's going to be huge. It's adopting everywhere. It's moving all over the place. It's getting into the Walmart ecosystem, BMW, I mean, it's all over. This article here is basically about, the best cryptocurrencies to 10x your return. And I agree. I really do believe that VeChain could be a very much lower risk potential to 10x or higher. So I like VeChain. You guys know that. We're going to move on to a little bit of Voyager news here. I'm going to look at the docket. So I haven't been going through the docket as closely as usual. Chase has been out of town. I've been sending him a few things. But why I say this the whole thing about employees, and here's the docket if you guys ever want to look at it. There's so many things in here to look at, though. It takes forever to read them all. Is that you're looking at here Stephen Ehrlich basically writing a letter to the courts saying, hey, we still need our employees. Like, if we get rid of them and we don't, because they're only approved for so long to pay people for so long. So they have to bring in a court order each time to make sure they can pay their bills, to make sure things are going to happen. And that is exactly what Steven's doing here. I don't exactly know how all this legal stuff exactly works. I'd have to have Chase here, but I do know that, if the reconciliation process and the restructuring process is going to work, they're going to have their employees. They can't hire new ones. They got to have the company still ran until it is sold or until they figure out something else to get our money back. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but and where the funding is exactly coming from and how long the other funding. I think there was like 1.2 million allocated to paying the lawyers and to paying their employees, but eventually that's going to run out, and eventually they're going to have new funding because I don't know how much money they're making right now just off of staking, as I think what the judge is allowing them to do. So that is something that should be questioned and should be thought about. So the agenda for August 16th, that's a hearing coming up. I think they're going to start selling CoinFi, and I think what's going to happen is they're trying to sell that to get the money to start paying their employees and to keep the restructuring process going. Who knows? Because again, we're not going to know much until I think it's October, because I think they have to have everything in by August 28th, I want to say, or August 26th. And then they've got to decide, and they've got hearings on September 13th. So there's a lot of important dates that are coming up, and then eventually we'll know more if they're going to sell, what we're going to get, how big of a haircut we got to take, if we have to take a haircut, all of that good stuff, guys. So That's kind of where the crypto market is right now. It is absolutely gorgeous here in Iowa. Most people are outside enjoying the day, which is exactly where I'm going to go here in the next couple seconds. But I did want to get on here and at least give my thoughts on where things are going, why things are happening, and what's happening in the market as a whole. I don't know. I'm pretty bullish. How do I say this? I'm getting more and more bullish on the fact that maybe we did hit bottom. Maybe we did. Joe is 100% still saying there's no way. There's no way. He thinks that it's still going to go down at some point in time. And I'm just going to continue to DCA once I get my USD onto an exchange. And I'm just going to keep going that way about it. And when it happens, it happens. And I'm going to take profits along the way. That's all you can do. That's all I plan to do. And that's all I can say from there. But I do think that we're overlooking we're overlooking what inflation is really going. I mean, it's at 8.5%, people. That's crazy high. One thing wrong, one bad bill, one chink in the armor sets that thing off to above 9 again, and we're going right back to where we were before. So it's not like that we're just out of the woods here. I mean, it is still extremely high to where people don't have money. People still can't pay their bills. People still can't afford gas in their car. They have to make decisions about where they're going to want to drive to. Vacations, they can't take them as much, or they're going into debt to go on these vacations. New IRS agents are coming out. What are you going to have to pay more? I mean, there are still things coming down the pipeline that is not going to fix everything. I'm telling you that right now. So there is still things in the market that are like, hey, pump the brakes a little bit. You may not have seen the lows yet, and hopefully you're around with some cash to be able to invest and be able to hit as low as you possibly can, and then we're all going to ride the wave up together. All right, guys, well, that's all I had today. I wanted to get on here very quick, get you guys some information, and just talk to the fans out there. If you guys had anything for us, let us know. You guys can always throw them down in the comments. We'll chat back with you. But as always, we appreciate you guys rocking with the fittest crypto channel on YouTube, and I'm out.